Today, Precarious plays
Phantom Brain. I know I said before that the last map was like the first one that really has like a lot going on and is sort of demanding.
But does this one have...
This one is immediately much more complicated.
Tour.
That last one was a bit of a softball because the bonuses were very favorable to the player.
Yeah.
Here, this enemy is providing a protection to all of the other slimes, and that protection is experience times 2. Mm-hmm. I cannot remember if that is the experience that they are receiving or if that is experience for beating them up. I will have to check online later. But each one of these slimes is then sending protection to a special unit back here. Mm-hmm. Now, the way that you unlock new phantoms is somewhat grisly, because I think that there are a few different ways to unlock them, but I think that the most direct way is to defeat someone of a particular class.
Oh.
So, blacksmith is a class that I want, so I'm going to beat the crap out of that blacksmith to gain his that functionality.
So is that a living creature?
Yes. Yeah, I'm not fighting phantoms. Yeah, that's just a guy.
And you're going to use all of your ghosts to beat him up
until he's a ghost.
So that you can have him.
Well, not him specifically, but
someone like him. Yeah. So that you understand him better, perhaps, and then can call him into existence. That's what I'm going to say. Maybe you don't actually kill him. Look.
Oh no! Well, look. The thing is, he's not neutral. I'm not beating up. Like, he's gonna come after me anyway.
Okay, so he's not a random person. He is someone that you must defeat in order to survive.
Yeah, there was a random person with a yellow, like, unaffiliated HP meter on the last map, but I ignored him because I'm not that excited about that class yet.
Yeah. Or because you don't want to do harm.
Well,
Rona.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Gotta get those phantoms somehow, am I right? Yeah. So what I need to do is I need to pick a nice neutral thing. Now I'm just gonna pick this rock and then confine him to this rock. And then flower is pretty good for the fusionist. Mm-hmm. I know she doesn't have like a great weapon yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and confine. Well, actually, let's check the character list. So we've got. I need something that is a special attack. Is there anything like that on the map yet?
You said that everything is special attacks.
Ah, there it is.
Okay, by special attack you mean fancy sword.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
They're all special.
Everything in this game, all of the functions that you have, they are all like powers or arts, depending on, the jargon you're most familiar with.
Okay.
Sometimes I shouldn't have, but occasionally I use like special attack very fluidly.
Yes.
And that's how I think of these like ki or spirit-based martial techniques, like this little fiery sword.
Until you give me actual nouns that describe these pictures.
Yeah.
These picture representations.
Like the schools of ability.
I'm just going to call them like you would title them as an emoji. I'm just going to be like fire sword. That one is fire sword. So until we get the actual names, that is fire sword.
You want to go? Should I go get the I have my PS2 copy. We could go get the manual. It probably says in there.
I kind of do. Is that too much? Is that too nerd?
We should probably get it like between
Yeah, I'll wait.
episodes.
Yeah, I'll wait. So, sword, fire sword, lightning bolt, etc. Okay, but you were looking for something to...
Capitalize on her fire sword
Yes.
school.
Okay. To make her better at it.
Yes.
Okay. Because you want to train her up in the things that she's not so good at. Well, it's early and the stakes are not so high.
Well, no, I want to train her up in what she is best at, and what she is best at is fire sword.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now this poor guy, his function is just going to be trying to wallop people to the best of his limited ability.
There you go. Good job. Good punch. Good.
Soldiers are actually really good once they've got a few levels under them. And you equip them with a weapon, because they can use that weapon for much longer than any other character.
Can you possess a starfish?
I can, but not right now, because what I've got to do right now is I have to use Starfish Cutter to chop this guy up.
Starfish cutter?
Yeah, Starfish Cutter!
Oh my gosh, you meant it. Oh man, I don't know why I'm surprised. I shouldn't be surprised at this point. I should know. We've been here for what? An hour, 20 minutes recording, and I should understand that when you say starfish cutter, you mean...
I'm gonna hit someone with a sharpened, hardened, spirit-powered starfish.
Yes, but the game is actually gonna call it Starfish Cutter. That's what I'm surprised with. You say all kinds of crazy stuff all the time.
You're just always talking nonsense.
No, you are always talking nonsense, but this game is backing you up like there's no tomorrow. I'm like, you're not gonna use freaking Starfish Cutter, and you're like, actually, no, look at the text right there.
But now let's get to the heart of the matter. I think you've got things out of order. Because this was probably very informative. Like, this is probably the reason why I talk such nonsense, is because of games like this.
Yeah, when did you first play this game? How old were you?
Young teens.
Okay.
Barely a teenager.
So this is not only like a thing that you really like, this is like a formative experience for you.
Oh yeah, I love everything about all of this.
Okay.
So here's a great example of that take home, right?
Yeah.
So January, Barbados, maybe? Barbados.
That's how they say the island.
They have 43% chance to take it home whenever they are removed from the field.
Okay.
Right now, merchants are my go-to for the take-home bonus, because they have a remove of 4,
Yeah.
which doesn't take very long. They're very fast, so their turn comes around really quickly, and they have a slight bonus to take home chance.
Okay, so because of their remove actually not being very good, it actually makes them better at something.
Right.
This is so great. I love how everything that you've described to me so far in this game is just... It's just what it is, and it can be used for... It is good for things and also not good for things. It's not... I don't feel like there's anything in here that it's like, oh, you just always gotta use this because this is the best.
Yeah, I think that one of the only things... I mean, even like having really high speed can be detrimental if your speed is so high that... Like, there are like edge cases where maybe you need to wait for enemies to move to you. You can't physically move to them.
Yeah.
And having really high speed, if you like get 3 turns back to back with Ash, and then he is removed from the field before the enemies can even approach him, that can be a problem.
Yeah. So this really gives you a wide array of options, and then expects you to use them for whatever the context presents itself to be.
Yeah.
I like that.
Now, I will say that just like other... Actually, no. More than other NIS games, it's really easy. The overall design is very fragile.
Yeah.
It's possible to break the game right? But it's sort of self-inflicted. You kind of have to go out of your way and use something called a failure dungeon to grind up to the point where like the main story is trivial. I might use a little bit of that just to become level appropriate very quickly in between battles later on in the story. But we're almost done with this map. I think that I can. Can I get him with Starfish Cutter? Some moves you throw your weapon away.
Yeah.
Like you're actually disarmed.
Yeah. You almost got him.
Yeah, so that's not going to be a huge problem, and she still has removed 2, so that's fine.
When someone's removed from the map, can you bring them back, assuming that there's still an object there for them to possess?
No, they are effectively per map consumable items.
Oh, wow.
So that's why having a really fast character can actually be a detriment. It's because you may waste them. Like, it kind of makes me wish that this game had a system sort of like Makai Kingdom, where there was a way for enemies to kind of invade the battle. Because some of the time, like I wish that could happen some of the time, and I wish that it was telegraphed in some way. So that way you had to think a little bit more about like, when's the best time to use this character? Right,
because it's not like Fire Emblem where you like before the map starts, you get everything ready, you equip everybody, you make sure everybody's shoelaces are tied, and then it's like, all right, onto the field, lads, yeah! It's much more fluid than that. And there's no grid.
There's no grid, which is great right now, but hoo boy, if it doesn't become just a little bit messy, especially in the equivalent of the item world. Is it just called the item world? I can't remember if it's just called the item world. So this is a great example. The game is telling me that I cannot reach that target to attack it with strike.
Right.
But because of the loosey-goosey nature...
Is it gonna bounce?
Because I just did a little bit of because if you look in the lower right-hand corner, it's a little slippery and a little bouncy.
You can count on the terrain to do something weird. Oh my god, does that work when you throw shit too?
Absolutely.
So just walking around...
I get fucked.
So just walking around, you might get a little further or might get a little less far if the terrain is different?
Yes, or...
Holy shit!
Or tragically, on ice stages, you might slide off into the void and accidentally go out of bounds.